Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. News is broke that we got two signings on the same day that the kit has been launched. Locks, Winks, and Coady both joined Leicester City in the last few hours. Your take on it? Obviously, I'm controversial on the Winks situation, but Coady, I am very, very happy with. Locks, what's your take?
I'm happy, mate. Look, there's a lot of talk about from other fans saying that we've overpaid for them. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I ain't bothered. I think it showed intent from Leicester that they wanted to get those two players, especially because they're the ones that have mainly been spoken about for the past few weeks or the past couple of weeks. It shows intent that even if there was, even if they have overpaid, they've done it because they just wanted to get them in the door quickly. No negotiations going on and on and on. Because I'm sure if we waited 4 weeks, 3 weeks, mate, we might have been able to get them both for 2 million cheaper or something like that. But that's not the thing we needed to do. We needed to get them in now, get them integrated into the squad, especially the Coady one, because I am really excited about this in terms of just his personality. Like anyone who's seen seen Coady content, we should call it, Coady content over the last few years will know that his personality is amazing, mate, and his leadership, and I just think he'll be amazing for the club. And then just touching on Winks quickly, I think I get the reservations some people have about him because he's not played many minutes. He went on loan to Sampdoria, got relegated, didn't really play much. But I just think the Championship, and I don't want to be harsh on him by saying the Championship is his level, because you never know. He could play for a bottom half Premier League team maybe, but I just think he's going to be that main man in midfield for us. You've got Dewsbury Hall. I said to you earlier, Reedy, I think Dewsbury Hall is going to be the runner, the legs, the engine in midfield if he stays. And Harry Winks will be the one who's probably asked to dictate the play, a bit like what Tielemans has done for us in the past. So I'm really excited for both of them. But yeah, for sure, Coady's the more exciting one, I think, just in terms of everything off the field as well that he brings.
Yeah, I completely agree. Again, I probably would have took Coady last year when we were in the Premier League. That's how much of a big signing this was
Yeah.
for us. Mick and a few of us saying captain for Coady. I before was saying probably not to say that somebody can't just come in and get the captaincy, but the more and more I think about it, it might be the perfect position for him to be in. Obviously, he's one of the most experienced players in the club now. Evans looks like he's gone now, if I'm right in saying so. He's kind of his replacement.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd give him captain, but it all depends on what else we bring in. Maybe we do bring another midfielder in who's probably more likely a sort of a captaincy sort of role. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know what your kind of take on the captaincy role with Coady is.
Well, I don't think, obviously, Maresca's come in and it's clear that he's trying to change everything pretty much. However, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to come in and try and be like a dictator, because that can go one of two ways. Obviously, we're losing a lot of players and we're bringing in a lot of new players, but there are still going to be some players that are still here. So Vardy, for example, it looks like he's going to be staying with us. Or Brighton, maybe he'll be staying with us for another year. These are the senior players, the leaders in the changing room, and Maresca will know, even though he's obviously not been in many managers' jobs before, but he'll know he can't just come into a club and say, change completely everything, not listen to any of the players. So the all Brightons, your Vardys, they'll be important in terms of gauging the reaction. Maybe if Coady is going to be captain, that I'm sure they'll consult with the Vardy and Albrighton, and because remember, Albrighton is still officially club captain. Remember that.
Yeah.
And Vardy, I don't think ever wants to be captain, because he would have been by now. Vardy would be captain by now if he wanted to be. He would have got it before Albrighton probably. But if they consult with it, if they consult with the players and Albrighton's happy, if he says to Albrighton, you're not going to be playing as many games as Coady. You'd imagine Coady's going to play a lot of games next season. So he might just have a word with Coady, with Albrighton, and say, look, do you mind if we give it Coady? I think Coady would be a great captain, mate. I really do. I think that's the best course of action. It's exactly what we need. But I don't think it's going to be the whole Maresca's going to storm in the door and say, right, this is the new captain. He's just come in, but, Albrighton, you're stripped. It won't be like that.
Yeah, again, I completely agree. Back up a bit. from the transfers, though. Everyone was asking for where the transfers were, where the manager was, and I think they kind of already had it in plan when they were going to announce all this stuff. It's so obvious, and we, as you can see, we're both wearing it. The new kit in pride and fashion. The new kit has been put on. So it was obviously perfectly positioned to put both signings, even maybe another one today. I don't know, but two
Maybe
signings
not.
in one day with the kit launch. It was just going to happen, and I'm guessing a lot of fans are glad that we've finally got some players announced. And like people are saying, they have got caps for England as well, into England internationals. You can't really ask for much more, can you, from the club at the
No.
moment?
No, I agree with what you mean. I mean, look, there's going to be a quiet period now. I think a little bit of a quiet period. Our fans can't get too excited. We can't start moaning if there's no more players in the next 5 days, whatever. Obviously, Stefan, as someone's put in the comments, Ben Morgan put it in there. Stefan and Perot are the other two that were linked at the same time. Really, maybe a couple of days later, but it's roughly the same time as Winks and Coady when they were first linked. They were the other two. I saw a quote from Stefan today. I don't know if he said it today. He said it in the last couple of days, where he said he hasn't actually heard anything from Leicester. So that's not near being completed, I don't think. Perot, again, I think it would be a great sign-in, especially if Daka or Iheanacho are leaving. We've seen today that Opoku is staying with Leuven on loan, staying with Leuven for another year.
Do you think that's the right choice? For me,
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think Perot Perot's better than Opoku. Perot, obviously, I don't want to be harsh on Opoku because we haven't seen massive amounts of him, but Perot is a proven championship goal scorer. If we're thinking about bringing him in, no doubt that's the right call. If we don't bring in another striker, then yeah, we should have kept Opoku. But I think we will see another striker. It seems to me that Maresca is looking at a spine in the squad. Obviously, the goalkeeper, he's now got Coady, Winks, and then a striker. And then after that,
it's
you'd
extras.
imagine, yeah, because you think Thomas, there's been a few I don't want to talk about other players too much, but Thomas has been small links, but if he doesn't go, you've got Thomas and
Justin,
Christensen as the
or
left backs. You've got Justin who can play. So these wide players we might not bring many in. I don't think we'll bring any first team.
Yeah, I do get
wing
you.
backs
Yeah.
or anything like
So
that.
going back to this Perot guy, then obviously he's from Swansea. He got 20 goal contributions last season. If we did sign him, would he be your number one? Because as in not number 9, you're number 9, kind of I guess. But obviously first time on the team sheet because he's proven it in the Premier League, in the Championship. Sorry, but
Yeah.
it's hard because for me the way I look at it is, as much as he's a brilliant striker in the Championship, he looks like a sort of Plan B striker. You don't you need to bring him on because he's a tall, lanky guy who can use his head, like a Ujoa kind of type. But would he really want to come to Leicester to be on the bench?
Well, it all depends on who's leaving in terms of Nacho and Daka, of course. You would imagine one of them's going to go. Two of them could go. I keep seeing this about Perot on the wing. I don't actually think he can.
I don't think he'd suit it.
I'm sure he can, but he apparently he hasn't. He didn't play off the wing at all last season. I was speaking to a Swansea fan. It never happened. He was at PSV, wasn't he? Was it PSV he was at, mate? Perot.
I cannot tell you.
I think it was one of the Dutch teams. I think he might have played a bit off the wing there, but not for Swansea. He's rarely done that. So, but regardless, I think Maresca will see how Vardy gets on in the early stages. I think Vardy will start the season as our number 9, I would imagine. I think Vardy will be our main striker to start in the first game of the season. And then it will just be the case of seeing how that goes. And if we've brought in a striker by then and things aren't going great for Vardy, then someone will slot in. But you need a plan A, you need a plan B. We know that Rodgers didn't have either of them, and hopefully Maresca does bring that. So I would have no problems with Pirro coming in. I wouldn't have a problem with anyone coming in, anyone at all. Even if you go and sign a bloody player from League One, just to be a squad player, I don't care, mate. Just bring in men because we need men. We need numbers. That's what we need. We've lost 7 on a free transfer. We're probably going to lose 2, 3, or 4 more players to transfers. Bring in as many as you can because we're going to need it, and it's a 25-man squad in the Championship. And then you've got your under 21s on top of that. haven't you?
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I say, Enzo is looking like he's doing the job at the moment. Like you say, if we don't sign anyone now in the next couple of days, then we can't really grumble. We've got 2 signings in one day, and like we say, we've got the kit launch, which obviously everyone can try and go get now,
yeah,
which is great to see. Um, but kind of last comment of the day from Ben Morgan says here, then you need to play Coady in the middle of a back three. Is this something that we're maybe looking at with Maresca? Obviously, I don't know too much about how he'd want to play. Does he play
well,
2 strikers up front without wingers, or would he be going to more of the 4-3-3 with 1 striker and no fullbacks?
everyone knows that Cody's better in a back three. It's just known. Everyone knows it. The reason he didn't play loads of minutes for Everton last year was because Dyche played a back four. So Maresca in his career so far with Parma and Man City, and is it under 20? I keep saying, is it under 23s or under 21s? It's under 21s.
21s, I think.
Maresca, both of them jobs, he played a mixture of a back four and a back three. So he can come in with either, and it's good that he's played with both because he can change it up if he needs to. You'd imagine, obviously, even though apparently we've been linked, we've wanted Coady before Maresca was appointed.
Mm-hmm.
However, I am pretty confident that Maresca would have had to have signed off on it. It would have been down to him in the end, and he signed off on it. So clearly, and Maresca will know that Cody's better in a back three. So maybe it is a back three we'll be going with. Whether that involves 2 strikers or 1 striker, you don't know. If if we bring in another striker, it could be 2 strikers up front, mate, because you've got Vardy and Perot or Vardy and Daka
And
or Vardy and
and as well with being 3 at the back as well, like this what you said, back 3 for me is basically the way we used to play with Rodgers the first couple of seasons, where we're
yeah,
playing the Ricardo Pereira and who was on the left for us at that point,
Justin.
maybe Justin. Yeah, again, both bombing up the wings instead of having full on wingers. We've got more wing backs, and I think that's where we should be going back to, because that's where we
Yep.
played our best football.
Yep.
Even with 2 strikers and no wingers, or playing with Vardy and Kell up front, and we're scoring goals for fun. So I probably would go back to that. It just depends if that sort of formation and style works in the Championship.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably bring in another centre back as well in the next couple of weeks, mate. Obviously we've got 4 weeks until just over 4 weeks until the season starts. We've got a trip to Thailand in 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
We've got obviously the Northampton game in 2 weeks today.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd want to see maybe 2 or 3 more players come in the door by the Northampton game within the next 2 weeks.
I think that's doable. I think that's fair enough. Like I say, you don't want to be just bringing 2 players in before the Northampton game.
Yeah, and if he is going for a back three, mate, we will see another centre back for sure, because he's not going to want to just rely. I mean, you'd imagine in a back three it's going to be Coady, if Fast stays, Coady, Fast, and Suter, right? So, you don't want to then have to rely on like your Nelsons. You know what I mean? Your under 21 players. You want some other players that have played. Yeah, Vestergaard. You're going to want other centre backs that have Championship experience, or maybe even just young League One players, something like that. So I think we'll see another couple centre backs come in the door if he is going to play a back three. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, make sure to follow Leicester on TV and all that good stuff. Obviously, we'll be live again if any more breaking news comes in about Leicester City. But
will
2
we get
signings,
3?
2 signings, maybe 3 on one day. You never know. But keep up with the updates from Leicester on TV, and we'll get back to you when any more breaking news happens. Cheers for joining, guys. See you in a bit.